Roof. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ooh,
I'm hitting every Catholic school in Ohio.
the recruiting grind.
Oh, yeah.
We have a Super Bowl coming up. I am going to ask you all of the questions that are debated day in and day out when it comes to the Chiefs. So I'm going to start on the dynasty side of things, seeing that you were part of the greatest one ever. Is this team now, can we call them a dynasty now, or do they need to win this one?
I don't really know the definition, the exact definition of a dynasty. The Patriots did it over a 20-year span, and I just in two different times, right? So they won 3 times in the early 2000s, and then 3 times in the later, the 14, the 16, the 18. So look, if they win 3 in a row, that's incredible, and they're probably in the conversation. But the fact that the Patriots did it actually twice is going to be hard to beat.
And then you obviously look at Mahomes v. Brady, and it is Patrick Mahomes. Does he move himself I guess he obviously moves himself further along, but if he gets the Chief Pete, is he somehow ahead of Brady when it comes to the GOAT discussion?
He's in the conversation, but he's not ahead. Tom. People always say he won 7, which is incredible, but he went to 10, and and so to win 3 in a row, look, I'm a big Pat Mahomes fan. You guys know that. I think the guy's awesome, but to be considered the greatest of all time, he got a long way to go to beat Tom. And obviously I'm very, very biased, but Tom is the greatest of all time.
All right.
Bill, I don't know if you heard Belichick talking about the Lombardi Trophy, wanting to rename it maybe the Brady Trophy. Where do you fall on that?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would keep it the Lombardi Trophy. I love the history of the game, and I just enjoyed over the many years studying about Vince Lombardi. So I would probably keep it the same, not name it after a player right now. But I didn't hear that. That kind of hit the funny bone for me.
I'm just curious, Billy, when you worked with Tom on the offensive side, was there a moment when you started working with him where you understood why he was so different? Was there a certain approach? I know you guys had a couple shouting matches that are well documented, but was there anything that you witnessed in person that you had heard about that confirmed your belief or made you think of him in a different light?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a million stories about that, but the one that I tell the most is the story about his memory. I mean, he had an incredible memory, which is huge for a quarterback. So when I started coaching him, he was in let's just call it the middle of his career. It was 2009, 10, and 11. And we were getting ready to play the Buffalo Bills in 2010. And he, had a play that he wanted to run named Crunch Stalk. That was the name of the play. It was a play-action pass, and he wanted to run this play. And he said, we ran this play against whoever the coordinator was for the Bills. We ran this play when this guy was with the Bears or something like that. And I was like, well, what year was that? He said, it was 2002. It was on the right hash going away from the lighthouse. It was a home game. It was the 3rd play of the game. I hit Troy Brown. This is 2010. So this is 8 years previous.
Yeah.
2010. I'm in this meeting with him, and and I'm like, get out of here. You don't remember. That's thousands of plays ago. And he said, look it up. And you could go on the system and you could look it up. And there it was. 3rd play of the game, right hash, going away from the lighthouse. They ran crunch stalk. Charlie Weiss was the coordinator, hit Troy Brown for a 30-yard gain against the same coverage that we were going to see this guy run with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I was like, this is incredible. The guy's, brain power is memory. So that was one of the first moments. Well, not first, but that was one moment where I said, man, this guy's He's incredible.
That's one of the most forgotten great games because the Pats didn't make the playoffs that year, but that was at the University of Illinois in Champaign, and he threw a pass to win that game that may be the best throw he's ever made.
Yeah, I mean, just
Wild.
just the whole memory deal is incredible to me. It's incredible.
And when he said look it up, he meant that Ernie had an index card that had it written down on it somewhere. Is that what he meant?
I'm not. I love Ernie. I'm not sure what index cards he had. I mean, but no, this was in a quarterback meeting. So there's a new Ernie in town. By the way, Mike's got stretched.
Yeah,
that's the new Ernie.
He's brought in an awful lot of his own coaches. And what do you think of the staff that he's assembling?
I think it's good. I mean, Mike's got what I would call like a tribe of coaches that he really believes in, and Mike, and just like all of us, like that puts a real importance on the chemistry of the staff because, and it is true, and I believe the same thing because if you don't have good chemistry on the staff, that trickles down to the players, and then you have a problem. And I've actually witnessed that over 33 years of coaching. So, he puts a big emphasis on that, and so he's getting his guys together. Good group of guys, and they all probably have thick skin. They all know how to, bust chops, teach football, and those players will benefit from that.
Bill, our current colleague, my former teammate around here, Ted Johnson, who's on in the afternoon, he went through a percentage pie of what, the players and coaches are, and he gave Bill Belichick.
Well, this is the Dynasty. He was asked to put a percentage on most responsible.
Right.
And so 60% went to Brady.
Yep.
30% went to the players.
10% went to
and
Bill.
10% went to Bill Belichick.
Right. I disagreed with that. I think it's more. I think it's more
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? Go ahead.
I mean, look, I know Ted Johnson. He was on radio in Houston when I was there. He's a good friend, but he's wrong on that one. I mean, having been there and having coached there and knowing how Bill, coached the team, taught the team off season, in season, how he met with the quarterbacks, how he taught the quarterbacks from a head coach perspective. I think everybody's got a fairly equal piece of the pie. And look, at the end of the day, there's no correlation between winning and bad players, right? So you got to have great players to win. So he had the greatest quarterback of all time, and Tom went out there and carried out the mission and won the mission way more times than he didn't. And so, yeah, Tom gets a lot of credit, but Bill should get just as much credit, in my opinion, for how he coached the team and prepared the team when they were winning.
Okay, excellent. Ooh, Mr. Football has a question. Good morning, Shime.
Morning, Bill. One of your players is making some waves down at the Senior Bowl. That'd be Ozzie Trapillo, a BC High guy like myself. So I had to ask about him. When you watch him, I mean, he's massive, first of all. He throws cinder blocks for hands. He looks pretty good. But how would you pitch Ozzie Trapillo to an NFL team that's interested in drafting him?
Just real quick, first of all, Sean, I didn't know that you went to BC High, so
Sure
that
did.
totally changed our. Yeah, I went to St. John's Prep, so I'm sorry about
Chime,
that. But,
Chime was a two-time volleyball captain over there.
Damn right.
Water boy for the
What St. John's Prep says, BC high, BC low.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Me and Bill can get past this. It's all right.
yeah, so Ozzie, I think every NFL team should be interested in Ozzie. Ozzie's a great guy, comes from an awesome family. His mom, Kim Trapillo, is awesome. He was a unanimous captain, was a quiet guy, led by example, showed up every day, never missed practice. He's a large human, got good athletic ability, he's got great length. And, if I was drafting in that league, Ozzie Trapillo would be right up there high on the draft board as an offensive tackle. He's got all the qualities that you want to play that position.
Well, another guy that you have, Bill, is Donovan Ezaraku, who they're saying might be able to sneak into the first round. Talk a little bit about, for NFL teams and how we see it all the time, how important the edge rusher is. what would, make him a great player and what teams should be expecting if they're drafting a kid like him?
Yeah, he's got great ability off the edge. He's got an ability to, his takeoff at the snap of the ball is very difficult to deal with. And then once he gets past the tackle, he's got great acceleration to the quarterback. I give Donovan credit. I mean, he literally took over 2 or 3 games that we won. We won the game because of Donovan, which is rare from the defensive end position. Another guy that was a captain, great ambassador for BC football, great teammate, very, very smart, very hard worker, comes from a great family in New Jersey. This guy had every Ivy League school, recruiting him when he came out of high school, came to BC and, was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-American. Here's another guy that you want in your locker room in the NFL.
All right, Bill O'Brien. Oh, yeah. What?
Sorry, I just had one more, a BC one. Ty Chan, there were a lot of articles written about the Notre Dame transfer, maybe wanting to go to BC. He's a kid from Lowell. I know he ended up at UConn, but was there conversation there? Was there interest there? And what did you feel about Ty Chan?
Ty Chan, I'm sorry, Courtney. That one doesn't ring a bell. We did not. I don't think we. Maybe we missed on that one. I'm not sure. I don't. That one doesn't ring a bell. There are other kids at Notre Dame that are from Boston. A couple guys from Catholic Memorial, but they're staying at Notre Dame. But no, Ty Chan doesn't really ring a bell. Sorry about that.
All right, O-lineman. There was some articles written saying that he had interest in BC.
Yeah, he transferred.
He's at UConn now.
Yeah.
Picked UConn 2 days ago.
Well, reach back out and tell him. Reach back out, tell him that Shime is going to be a part of your coach's clinic. Maybe that'll do the trick.
Yeah, we'll go. Shime's going to be on his face will be on the brochure that we send out.
There you go.
It's a good looking face now.
You better make it like a double piece of paper.
All right,
with a bigger face. Is Cincinnati chili today, Bill? I think isn't that the food?
No, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Nashville yesterday. I was in Tennessee yesterday. I saw Tim Hasselbeck down at Emmons-Imagn High School and a bunch of other schools, and it was very nice weather down there. And today is not the same in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, they talk highly of the chili. So
That's the Kelsey brothers' neck of the woods.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
All right,
That's
Bill.
right.
We will talk to you next week.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, there you have it, Bill O'Brien.